Have you ever considered what motivates someone to do unthinkable acts of violence? Today we are delving deeply into the horrific tale of Jennifer Paxton, a young lady whose life was cruelly cut short by the very people she trusted. This is not only a story of a horrible crime, but also a sobering reminder of the weaknesses experienced by those running away to the incorrect destinations. Background of Jennifer Paxton. Jennifer Paxton, a name that will forever be etched in the annals of tragic stories. A young woman whose life was brutally cut short. Today, we delve into the life of Jennifer Paxton, the circumstances leading to her untimely demise, and the events that unfolded thereafter. Jennifer Gail Paxton was born and raised in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. From a young age, she was known for her infectious smile and kind-hearted nature. Friends and family remember her as a vibrant and compassionate individual who always sought to help others. Despite facing personal challenges, Jennifer maintained a positive outlook on life. As she grew older, Jennifer's life took a turn when she found herself struggling with homelessness and financial instability. In an attempt to find stability, she crossed paths with Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray, a couple who would later be central to the harrowing events leading to her death. Initially, Jennifer believed that moving in with them would provide her with a sense of security and a place to stay. However, what Jennifer hoped would be a safe haven soon turned into a nightmare. Finnegan and Noel-Murray, who had their own tumultuous relationship, subjected Jennifer to unimaginable horrors. The couple's volatile dynamics and abusive tendencies created a toxic environment that ultimately led to Jennifer's tragic fate. Jennifer's story is a stark reminder of the vulnerability that many individuals face when they find themselves in desperate situations. Her trust in those she believed would help her was exploited in the most heinous way possible. As we explore the details of this case, it's important to remember Jennifer Paxton as more than just a victim, but as a person whose life had value and meaning. Jennifer's life and death serve as a powerful call to action for greater awareness and support for those in vulnerable situations. Her story highlights the importance of providing safe and supportive environments for individuals in need and the necessity of addressing and preventing domestic violence and abuse. Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray's relationship. In the heart of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray's relationship was anything but ordinary. The couple, who became infamous for their involvement in the murder of Jennifer Paxton, had a turbulent and abusive relationship that laid the groundwork for the horrific events that unfolded. Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray met several years before Jennifer Paxton entered their lives. Their relationship was characterized by volatility, with frequent arguments and instances of domestic violence. Friends and acquaintances of the couple often described their relationship as toxic and fraught with tension. Despite the tumult, Finnegan and Noel-Murray remained together, their bond seemingly strengthened by their shared dysfunction. As their relationship progressed, Finnegan and Noel-Murray's abusive tendencies began to escalate. Both individuals had troubled pasts, with histories of substance abuse and criminal activity. Their volatile relationship created a dangerous environment, which ultimately ensnared Jennifer Paxton. Jennifer's arrival in their lives was seen as an opportunity by Finnegan and Noel-Murray to exert control and dominance over another person. They offered her a place to stay, which Jennifer, in her vulnerable state, gratefully accepted. However, this act of kindness quickly turned into a nightmare as the couple's abusive behavior extended towards her. The dynamics between Finnegan and Noel-Murray were complex. While both were perpetrators of abuse, their roles often shifted, with each taking turns being the primary aggressor. This shifting power dynamic added to the unpredictability and danger within their household. Jennifer, caught in the middle, became the primary victim of their escalating violence. Understanding the relationship between Finnegan and Noel-Murray is crucial to comprehending the full scope of the Jennifer Paxton case. Their dysfunctional bond and history of abuse set the stage for the horrific treatment and eventual murder of Jennifer. It serves as a chilling reminder of how toxic relationships can create environments ripe for extreme violence and brutality. Events leading up to Jennifer Paxton's death. Upon moving in with Finnegan and Noel-Murray, Jennifer was initially welcomed. However, this facade of kindness quickly faded. The couple's volatile relationship and abusive tendencies soon turned their home into a place of terror for Jennifer. She was subjected to severe physical and emotional abuse, with Finnegan and Noel-Murray using her vulnerability to exert control and dominance. As the abuse escalated, Jennifer's pleas for help went unanswered. She was isolated from friends and family, trapped in a cycle of violence that she could not escape. The couple's home became a prison where Jennifer was beaten, restrained, and starved over an extended period. The brutality of her treatment was unimaginable, with the couple employing various means of torture, including the use of a baseball bat. Jennifer's suffering reached its peak when she was ultimately killed by Finnegan and Noel-Murray. Her death was the result of prolonged abuse and torture, a tragic end to a life that had already been filled with hardship. The couple then attempted to conceal their crime by hiding Jennifer's body in a freezer, hoping to evade detection. Discovery of Jennifer Paxton's body. The discovery of Jennifer Paxton's body marked a turning point in this tragic case. In December 2019, law enforcement officials made a gruesome discovery at the home of Sean Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Hidden in a freezer was the lifeless body of Jennifer Paxton, a stark testament to the brutality she had endured. The discovery was made following a tip-off from an acquaintance of the couple who had grown suspicious of their behavior and the mysterious disappearance of Jennifer. When the authorities arrived at the scene, they were met with a horrific sight. Jennifer's body showed clear signs of prolonged abuse and torture, a chilling indication of the suffering she had endured in her final days. The discovery of Jennifer's body in such a state sent shockwaves through the community and the nation. It underscored the severity of the abuse she had faced and the monstrous actions of Finnegan and Noel-Murray. The authorities quickly launched a full-scale investigation to uncover the details of Jennifer's death and bring her killers to justice. The investigation revealed that Jennifer had been beaten, starved, and tortured over an extended period before her death. The use of a baseball bat as a weapon was confirmed, along with other methods of physical and emotional abuse. The evidence collected from the scene painted a grim picture of the horror Jennifer had lived through. The discovery of Jennifer's body was a crucial piece of evidence that led to the arrest and eventual conviction of Sean Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray. It highlighted the importance of thorough investigation and the role of the community in reporting suspicious activities. As we continue to explore this case, we've reached the stage when things start to become sticky. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share the video so you can read more of our true crime topics. The investigation and arrests. The investigation into Jennifer Paxton's murder was a meticulous and thorough process that ultimately led to the arrests of Sean Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray. Following the discovery of Jennifer's body in the couple's home, law enforcement officials worked tirelessly to piece together the events leading up to her death and gather the evidence needed to bring her killers to justice. Upon discovering Jennifer's body, the authorities immediately secured the scene and began collecting evidence. Forensic experts were brought in to examine the body and the surrounding area, uncovering signs of prolonged abuse and torture. The evidence collected from the scene included physical injuries on Jennifer's body, restraints used to confine her, and the baseball bat used in the assault. Investigators also conducted interviews with neighbors, friends, and acquaintances of Finnegan and Noel-Murray, piecing together a timeline of events and gathering information about the couple's behavior and actions leading up to Jennifer's death. The interviews revealed a pattern of abusive behavior and a volatile relationship between Finnegan and Noel-Murray, further implicating them in Jennifer's murder. With the evidence mounting against them, Sean Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray were arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. The arrests marked a significant step towards justice for Jennifer Paxton and provided a sense of relief for the community. The investigation also highlighted the importance of community involvement in reporting suspicious activities and the role of law enforcement in responding to such reports. The tip-off from an acquaintance of the couple played a crucial role in the discovery of Jennifer's body and the subsequent arrests. Details of the abuse and torture. In addition to physical abuse, Jennifer was also subjected to emotional and psychological torture. She was isolated from the outside world, with Finnegan and Noel-Murray restricting her communication with friends and family. This isolation was a key tactic in their control, making it difficult for Jennifer to seek help or escape her tormentors. The couple also employed restraints to confine Jennifer, using chains and padlocks to limit her movements. She was often left without food or water, further weakening her and making her more susceptible to their control. The starvation she endured was another form of torture, adding to the immense suffering she experienced during her time with them. The brutality of the abuse reached its peak when Jennifer was ultimately killed. The physical and emotional trauma she endured took a significant toll on her, leading to her tragic death. The details of her suffering serve as a chilling reminder of the extreme violence that can occur in abusive relationships and the importance of addressing and preventing such abuse. Court proceedings and trial. The court proceedings and trial of Sean Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray were pivotal in the pursuit of justice for Jennifer Paxton. The trial was closely followed by the media and the community, as the harrowing details of Jennifer's abuse and murder were brought to light. The courtroom became a battleground where the prosecution and defense presented their cases, seeking to determine the fate of the accused. The trial began with the prosecution presenting the evidence gathered during the investigation. This included forensic evidence from the crime scene, testimonies from forensic experts, and witness statements from neighbors and acquaintances. The prosecution painted a grim picture of the abuse Jennifer endured, highlighting the physical injuries she sustained and the methods of torture employed by Finnegan and Noel-Murray. Key witnesses for the prosecution included law enforcement officials who detailed the discovery of Jennifer's body and the evidence collected from the scene. Their testimonies were crucial in establishing the timeline of events and the involvement of Finnegan and Noel-Murray in Jennifer's death. The forensic experts provided detailed accounts of the injuries Jennifer sustained, further strengthening the prosecution's case. The defense, on the other hand, sought to challenge the prosecution's narrative. They questioned the credibility of the witnesses and attempted to cast doubt on the evidence presented. The defense argued that the prosecution had not proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Finnegan and Noel-Murray were responsible for Jennifer's death. They also attempted to portray the couple's relationship as less volatile than depicted by the prosecution. Throughout the trial, the jury was presented with graphic evidence of the abuse and torture Jennifer endured. The emotional impact of the testimonies and evidence was palpable, leaving a lasting impression on those in the courtroom. The trial lasted several weeks, with both sides presenting their arguments and evidence in a bid to sway the jury. In the end, the jury found Sean Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray guilty on multiple charges, including first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. The verdict was a significant victory for the prosecution and a step towards justice for Jennifer Paxton. The sentencing phase followed, where the judge handed down lengthy prison sentences for both Finnegan and Noel-Murray, ensuring they would spend the rest of their lives behind bars. Sentencing and aftermath. The sentencing of Sean Finnegan and Alisha Noel-Murray marked a significant moment in the pursuit of justice for Jennifer Paxton. Following their conviction on multiple charges, including first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse, the judge handed down lengthy prison sentences to both individuals, ensuring they would spend the rest of their lives behind bars. The sentencing phase of the trial was an emotional experience for Jennifer's family and friends, who had waited for justice for so long. The judge, in delivering the sentences, highlighted the brutality of the crime and the prolonged suffering Jennifer endured at the hands of Finnegan and Noel-Murray. The sentences reflected the severity of the offenses and the need for accountability for such heinous acts. Sean Finnegan was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, while Alisha Noel-Murray received a similar sentence. The judge's decision to impose the maximum sentences available underscored the gravity of the crime and the need to protect society from such dangerous individuals. The sentences provided a sense of closure for Jennifer's loved ones, knowing that her killers would never be able to harm anyone else. The aftermath of the trial and sentencing had a profound impact on the community and beyond. The case highlighted the urgent need for greater awareness and intervention in cases of domestic violence and abuse. It also served as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities faced by individuals in desperate situations and the importance of providing support and resources to those in need. Jennifer Paxton's story resonated with many, prompting discussions about domestic violence, homelessness, and the importance of community involvement in preventing such tragedies. Advocacy groups and organizations dedicated to combating domestic violence used Jennifer's case to raise awareness and push for stronger protections and support systems for victims. Community reaction. In the immediate aftermath of Jennifer's death, The community rallied together to support her family. Candlelight vigils were held in her memory, where community members gathered to mourn her loss and stand in solidarity against the violence that claimed her life. These events served as a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience of the community in the face of tragedy. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share the video so you can read more of our true crime topics. Jennifer's case also prompted important discussions about the need for greater support and resources for victims of domestic violence and those facing homelessness. Advocacy groups and organizations used her story to highlight the gaps in the system and push for stronger protections and support networks for vulnerable individuals. Impact on domestic violence awareness. The case prompted renewed efforts to raise awareness about the signs of domestic violence and the resources available for victims. Educational campaigns were launched to inform the public about the warning signs of abuse and the importance of reporting suspicious activities. These campaigns aim to empower individuals to take action and support those in vulnerable situations. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.